So today I want to talk about a couple things literature based. We're going on the journey that I've been on today because I've been working in the galley, so just working in the kitchen and cutting carrots and cleaning dishes, and that's given me a bunch of time to pop in some earbuds and turn on an audiobook, which happened to be the Gospel of Luke today. For whatever reason, I started in chapter 4, but all afternoon I was working, so I pretty much listened to the whole Gospel of Luke from 4 all the way through, and it finished right starting Acts, right as we put out dinner. So that was like super cool. And it's been so long since I've listened to the Gospel all the way through in audio form. It's so cool. It's like you're listening to someone just tell a story, and the story is the epicest story ever told. It was so cool. So I would highly recommend that. If you're not doing anything for a couple hours, just put on an audiobook of the gospel, and it makes the story come alive because you can imagine it as it's doing it, whereas reading it, you have to focus a lot more on what the words are saying to imagine it. But I really enjoyed that. But what stood out to me when I was sitting there thinking was, well, just what a crazy story it is that God comes and then dies on the cross, and the process of that is just crazy and so humbling. But he lived for 30 years before he started his ministry, right? How crazy is that after 30 years of living with people, he was still like, yeah, I'm gonna go and die for them. Like, you would want to leave after a few years, minimum or maximum. If you're God, you're perfect, and you have to live with all these sinners. I just find that so crazy that even after experiencing the world and how evil everything is for 3 decades, he was like, no, yep, I'm gonna die for these people and save them. And then when he went and hung out with people, it was the worst people in the society. And that is confronting as a religious person, you know. But I really enjoyed that. And I also am reading this book, which is The Phantom Tollbooth. One of my friends gave it to me and really enjoyed reading it. I'm probably 2/3 of the way through. It's so good. It's a lighthearted story about a boy going on this adventure, and he discovers the king of words and the king of numbers and rhyme and reason and a lot of metaphorical or whatever literary literary euphemisms and puns. It's just really fun, and I can't remember what I was going to say about this book actually now, except that it's a really fun book, and I want to create things like this that are meaningful, really creative, while being meaningful and relatable. So like they're relevant to regular people, although they are still meaningful. With that being said, tomorrow I'm thinking about how to create a video for the Banu language Bible. So it's a really cool opportunity because right now there are Bibles which are not quite complete. They're almost complete Bibles which have been printed out, and they're the first printed versions of this language's Bible ever. There's like 400 pounds of these books on the ship waiting to be released for the first time into the communities where we are around this area where we are. And on Sunday they're going to have a celebration of the churches and a celebration of releasing this Bible for the first time. And I'm just thinking about the opportunity to document that and take a video, how I would do that, interview what kind of people, and how I would go about that. So those are some of the things on my mind. It seems like it's just so cool having the Bible for the first time in your language and being a part of something that like these translators right now, being a part of something that this language has been translated for decades, and it's just so crazy. But that's what's going on with me. Thanks for tuning in. I hope to have a video that I'm talking about at some point in the future, but we'll see how it all works out. Thanks.